Hello everybody, James Rink here. It is September 9th, 2017, and today I have an exciting show with Peter the Insider, who is director of a division within the ACIO, which is the Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. And Peter's going to share today an update today about the hurricane that's bearing down on Florida, Hurricane Irma. Now, many people are going to be listening to this in the future, way after past when the hurricane hit. I understand. So a lot of the, even though some of this information is current, some of the information that's going to be presented is also could be to other topics as well. So I encourage you to continue listening anyway. First of all, I do want to mention, before I bring Peter in, I want to thank Rachel for sending me the bracelet. It's Australian Jasper. So thank you very much. And I also want to thank whoever sent me this engagement ring. If you could give me your name, that would be helpful. It doesn't actually fit me, so I'm not sure what the deal with that is. But thank you, whoever sent that to me. And without any further ado, Peter, welcome to the show. Are you there?
Hello, thank you for inviting me again.
You're welcome. So let's go ahead and why don't you give us a little update about what's going on here, because I know it's been a while since we last brought you on here. And where would you like to bring this to begin this conversation?
Yeah, technically everything is so complicated in last, I don't want to say last few weeks, but last few months, especially with FEMA, because that's a problem that they can't, they can do it, but they realized, the shadow government, if you want to call them that way, that it will have much bigger and larger consequences with more complex things. It will trigger much more complex things if they did it old-fashioned way. I mean it like if they will grab the power via martial law, right? So because technically once you have job, not normal office job, but some job in terrain, you can do it always. You can do it two ways. Play it, as I like to say it, this way. Play it, stay cool and play it smart, or be bang bang and strong. You do know what I mean with all guns blazing, as I like to say, and this is it. They realized that it's not good idea to get it all guns blazing and make some serious problems with army and militia and all kind of stuff. So they decided to get it in more, how can I say that, more complicated way. But from my point of view, it's much more effective, than some martial law or something like that, because technically it's like what we are talking about, 2 or 3 weeks when these two hurricanes hit. It's like what? It's U.S.
Houston?
Mid-East, yeah.
You mean
and
Harvey?
there is, yeah. What?
Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Harvey.
I mean Harvey. It's like what? Like it's like 2 or 3 weeks. 2 weeks.
Correct.
Maybe, yes, I think. Yeah. And second one is Irma, what is hitting Florida right now. And this is it because they created them, both of them of course, in order to get the job done. What we are talking about, it's very easy. The job done is to get the job done is to test. It's like biotechnological chemical weapons, you know, because it's like the latest generation of weapons. They are, because you have some cluster bombs, okay, and you can fly with an airplane, drop the bomb will explode, and you are technically okay, if you wanna call it that way. But you are not okay because people will see the markings, do you know what I mean, which army airplane belongs to and all kind of the stuff. But once you are smart ass and you will drop such a bomb, not only one, so I mean like set of bombs into an eye of a huge storm we can call hurricane, you know, the effect is crazy, or maybe will be crazy, because these particles will spread in a huge area. Do you know what I mean? Because technically it's like Irma has what, like 400, more than 400 miles in diameter. What is like crazy, you know. And maybe that's my question. I was thinking, how big was Andrew? Because Andrew, it was like 1992, and it wasn't half that big. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the numbers right now.
I am right.
Irma is 420 miles
Yeah.
diameter, and Andrew was
Yeah.
But 200 miles. So about half the size. It says 200.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. What I was talking about. It's not even a half size. I mean, it wasn't even half size of it. This is it. What I'm talking about. And so, two big hurricanes in practically same spot of US. You know, in a few during 2 weeks. It's definitely not a coincidence. So I mean the shadow government, if you wanna call them that way, they did it on purpose. Of course, because we need to talk very straight. HARP calls it, you know, HARP calls it. What is like officially high auroral activity research program. This acronym means HAARP officially, right? But in real deal, it's very powerful weapon, because it can impact weather. It can cause earthquakes, I don't know, like volcano eruptions and all kind of this stuff. So I mean, impact weather in way we can see, or we are talking right now, yeah. But for example, like extreme heavy snowfalls, so there will be floats, or I don't know, like extremely dry. Do you know what I mean? And high temperature. So, do you know what I mean? All the weather extremes you can possibly imagine. This is it. So they used this special kind of airplanes. They can hold tight still in very big storm system, if you want to call it that way, because technically they dropped these bombs, this set of bombs, when it was only big storm system. It wasn't hurricane when they did that, you know. And after that, it was few hours after that, these bombs has some what like you know timing system, and when it raised to hurricane category, then bam, bombs explode and all small particles you know were gained to the this storm system, and now it is hitting. I know technically that a lot of people were evacuated, I know that, but even when they were evacuated, the fact is that they will be affected, because it is like people who will remove all the piece of debris. You know what I mean? And residents, it doesn't matter if it will be in few weeks or few months, they will get back, and these particles are very similar to radiation. You can't get rid of that. I mean, yes, you can, but it will be like, I don't know, hundreds of years. It's very problematic. As I said, it's very similar to radiation. So this is what this is first because there are two main purposes why they created these two hurricanes. This is first purpose. Second one is, then in Texas they are building huge underground complexes, and they call it like underground road. Of course, it's crazy to call it underground road, but it's like these vacuum tunnels between them. Okay, it's something like it's like octagonical, because they are all of them in total in Texas, right? And these tunnels went into use, and people shouldn't know it. I mean, common people, residents. So they did that. They created help me, Harvey, right? And people went away, because of course they should went away. And this is it, right? I mean, that was it. And the second one, there are these I don't technically, I even don't know how to call them, because it can be some very special type of submarine, then a battleship, and it can fly, and once it is flying, it looked like a huge drone with four engines, and it has a VTOL. What is like, how can I say that? It is starting and I mean taking off, and do you know what I mean, landing vertically. So it has VTOL, and it looks like huge drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, vertical takeoff and landing. Yeah, exactly. So VTOL, yes, because I call it like VTOL, but this is it. Thank you. This is explanation of this acronym, and this type of stuff, which was built, just by the way, in a huge underground military base. It's like 150 miles away from coastline of Florida. It went to Florida, and people I mean, not just random place, but in one of largest continental army base in Jacksonville. And people were, of course, because they are people, I mean, come on, civilian, they were curious. They made some video footage footages, some photos, you know, and it get viral over the internet. And they realized, aha, that's not good idea to have some sort of these things all around. Of course, they everything they deleted from the internet, but once, because they made maintenance, right? But in normal case, in normal situation, in standard conditions, are these machines completely invisible. But once they are doing maintenance for invisibility systems, they can't stay invisible. It's normal, it's logical, right? So that's a problem. And because of that, it's the second purpose, as you know, opening these tunnels
Peter?
in Texas, you know. uh, so as the first one was the opening the ways, these tunnels under the Texas, and I mean, in order to connect these underground bases in Texas. This is second purpose of of Irma in Florida, you know. So in Texas, this was two, if you wanna call it that way, it's two birds with one stone, thinky think. So this underground basis was in Texas, and this is in Florida. You know, it's crazy for me.
Okay, Peter. Yeah, so certainly a lot of information to digest, and I just want to mention to the audience members that Hurricane Andrew had hurricane force winds, which is 74 miles an hour. Its path was 50 miles wide, 74-mile-hour winds, and then Irma is 126 miles, so 50 to 126. That's a pretty substantial. That's more than double. I don't know what the tropical storm force was for Andrew, but with Irma, it's 345-mile wide swath. So that would definitely cover up the whole state. It's going to get creamed with at least a tropical storm, or more, if not more. So now let's go back here, because let's go talk a little bit about Harvey, because recently there was about 50 inches of rain in some parts of Texas dumped. And you mentioned that they were trying to flood out some underground tunnels. Is that correct? Is that the premise for that?
No. Once again, they are 8 huge underground bases all over the Texas, and these tunnels were built in order to connect all of them. But that was the problem, because people found some on ground, if you wanna call it that way, on ground entrances, and they figured it out. And once again, they were made videos and photos. It went viral, and they were like, no, that's bad idea, you know. And they cleared the whole area out. It's like, how can I say that in military vocabulation? It's like, we are clearing the diameter, you know, and no question asks how many people died or something. They don't ask this kind of questions. Do you know what I mean? They want to clear the perimeter. Okay, no problem. I mean, it's a problem, of course, but army is army, you know. Order is an order, and you need to follow the order, you know.
Well, Peter, do you happen to have pictures or videos of the footage they allegedly took of these tunnels that you could share, that we could put in?
Yes, I mean, yes, I saw a few of them of some local residents made, but once again, it was cleared out of YouTube, and I mean the videos and the photos were removed from Facebook and Twitter, and help me search one from Instagram and all kind of stuff. So
So you're suggesting
they
if I
are
was to
doing their
if I was
job
to
very
publish
good.
if I was to publish these photos in this video, then this video would probably be scrubbed too. Is what you're? Or do you suggest that might happen?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. Definitely yes.
Okay, so maybe not. Well, no, guess we won't do that then. But can you comment? You said
Yeah.
people found these tunnels. Were these people connected to, say, maybe the White Hats in the Pentagon? Or who are these people that found these tunnels in Houston area?
Once again, they are shadow government. So technically, people who, how can I say that? And it is not. I'm not talking about only about US. I'm talking about whole world, because politicians are only puppets in someone's hands. Do you know what I mean? Because technically, even for example, people who are very wealthy, and I mean people who were just regular people. It doesn't matter that they were businessmen or something like that, but who were not involved in politics, and they were rich. Okay, if because there are basically there are two ways how I mean, like the hierarchy enslaving you, how they can get a politician. Okay, first one, uh they will financing their political campaigns, and second one, once they are rich enough to do it for themselves, they will blackmail them. And once you are so good, I mean, so if you want to call it that way, innocent, that there is no regular way how to blackmail them, then they will make up something. Do you know what I mean? Make up, I mean, like
It's like
it's
gaslighting.
fake story, but it will. What?
Gaslighting.
What?
Gaslighting.
Yeah, it's mean like everything. What do you mean by gaslighting?
It was based on a movie from the 1940s, I believe, a black and white movie called Gaslighting, in which an abusive husband tried to make his wife go crazy by abusing her in emotionally abusing her in such a way that accusing her of being crazy when she wasn't really crazy, and all the people around her were saying that she was crazy, and then she started to believe it. And then I haven't seen the movie, but I'm just giving you a synopsis of it, so I can't give you much more details than that. But essentially, they do that to targeted individuals as well. What the scenario that you described?
Yeah. So it's definitely gaslighting situation. Definitely. Yeah. Exactly.
Now, but could you
You are right.
Peter, could you please go back to the question I asked earlier, because I'm still a little bit unclear who's doing what, because we have these underground bases in Texas, these 8 bases that you said, and a vacuum tube system that connects these bases. I believe a 1.8 Mach train, unless they improved that technology now.
No. You are talking very slow. You are talking slow. They are way much faster than
Well,
1.8 Mach. It's way much
how
faster.
fast do they go? How fast do these trains go?
Technically, it's like that. It's like that because it's like, I don't know. It's like 8, 10, something like that.
Yeah, I was seeing the number 10 in my head. Mach
8
10.
or 10, between 8 or 10.
That's
Between 8 or
8,000.
10.
What?
But I'm not
8,500
sure.
miles an hour. Roughly 500 miles an hour. Well, okay, but
Yep.
All right. But the point I'm trying to get here is, um, who owns these bases, and who was the groups that went into these bases to take these photos?
Technically, what do you think, huh? Tell me.
Well, I think the cabal and the
Texas and
shadow
all kind of
government, they
stuff.
own the bases, but when I asked you who was
No,
going
no,
in,
no, no, no. You are not right. You are not.
what are
You are
those?
not
Are those
right.
are those ACIO facilities?
No, definitely not.
Monarch Solution. Well,
ACI will not do such a crazy thing to normal people, innocent people. No, no. Monarch Solutions, of course.
okay. I thought they had bases near Toronto, so they have many more facilities.
No, 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 no. Once again, it's we are talking about research facility. What is huge research underground facility? They are trying to, but literally, okay, literally to bend the time in some way, and it's going under few states on US. It was like it's like what, like east, northeast. It's on Canadian border, not so far away from Great Lakes, big lakes, and it's different story, my friend. No, no, it's different story because these facilities, how can I say that? They are using these facilities for another purposes because they believe, and that's a problem. Technically, we've got serious problem because they believe, they umbrella believe that once they can bend or modify in some way, umbrella believe that once monarch can modify in some way flow of time, it will affect, of course, positively affect the process of evolution of their viruses, because as you know, umbrella is developing chemical, no, not chemical, biological and biochemical weapons. This is it. Yes, of course, chemical too, but it's not. It's like 10 maybe 20% of their agenda. So this is it. This is why they join their forces together, and they build this huge complex, under Texas. And it's like I was really surprised when I get this when I get to this information, and because these complexes are very old, they were built originally during I mean during period between First and Second World War, right? And there were only four of them, so they made these four. They modernized in very, they are like some high tech stuff, and they built another for once, and they are now eight of them total in total. It's very interesting from my point of view. So this is it. You've got it. And of course we need to know. I mean, we don't need to know, but because we know, at least regular listeners know it, that Monarch and Umbrella, both of them are contracts, DoD contractors, DoD Department of Defense contractors, but they are doing such a dirty stuff that DoD don't wanna to make anything in common with them. So DoD are using is using DARPA. And maybe you can talk to people what DARPA is, what DARPA's agenda is about.
All right. DARPA is the Department of Defense's let's see, I guess the Defense Agency Research Advanced Project. Did I get that acronym right? If not, it's pretty close.
Yeah. You are right.
So essentially, they subcontract with many of the other, I guess you could, the different research organizations that produce advanced technology. Certainly, Monarch Solutions is one of them, but there's others as well. We've talked about some of these acronyms before, like Kruger,
Shoreline.
Yeah, Shoreline. Massive Dynamic.
Ultimates 2.
Massive Dynamic.
Yep, Massive Dynamic.
But even still, there's got to be many more. Even like, for instance, Dark Fleet. Do they work with Dark Fleet or Solar Warden?
Definitely, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or what?
Solar Warden. Are you familiar with Solar
Yep,
Solar
definitely,
Warden?
yes.
Okay. So, they, even though they subcontract, they actually these organizations, the subcontractors, they actually have the most advanced technology. They only give DARPA little tiny tidbits. So when a lot of people say,
"Yeah, you are absolutely right," and that's
the military's abducting me.
I need to interrupt you. And yes. I need to interrupt you with one of the most important thing we didn't mention yet. That every single thing, every single penny of your taxes, all the people in US, of course, what you paid, which went through DARPA, is like black hole, because there is no single institution or society who can get into accountant of DARPA, because they are doing also called BOC projects. It's like Black Ops Corps, right? So there is no control of that, and believe it or not, people, but no single one, nobody knows how much money went through DARPA to these contractors. No one knows that. It's like, how can I say that? They say so. Do you know why? Do you know what I mean? They say so things that it's few trillions per year. Some sources are talking about like from 7 or 8 to 10 trillions of dollars per year. That's DARPA's budget. It's like, it's crazy, at least from my point of view.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. I do want to mention that no federal taxes, the income tax anyway, actually goes to the United States government. I want to read this here. This is from a 1984 Grace Commission, where Ronald Reagan stated that 100% of what is collected, he didn't say in income tax, but he said what is collected in income tax is absorbed solely by interest on the federal debt and by the federal government contributions to transfer payments. In other words, all individual income tax revenues are gone before one nickel is spent on services taxpayers pay for the expect from the government. So the question is, where is all this money coming from? And certain insiders claim that the Federal Reserve has money in offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands and so on. And not just as one example, where they're purchasing. They purchase stocks and they manipulate the stock market. The bond market is even bigger, and they make enormous amounts of money, which is being pumped into DARPA or Solar Warden and so on.
Yeah, you are right. But you need to go to accept another fact, very important fact, that it was in the very beginning of Korean War. It was like in second half of 50s. It was like 1970. No, sorry, 1955, 1956, something like that. When another very important institution, CISS, what is like Center of Intelligence and Secret Services, get the printers for dollar. So it is like approximately 60 years of the time when they can print much money as much money as they want. They are limitless. Do you know what I mean? Because these three organizations are connected very close to each other mutually. DARPA, let's make it clear, DARPA, CISS, and because of course, because they need to have some how can I say that, hijacker in the government, DOD, Department of Defense. This is it.
Well, Kennedy must have.
Just for
Yeah,
clarification.
Kennedy must have pulled all the dots together and realized what was going on here with these different organizations. And he probably was trying to pull the plug.
Yes, and that yes, and that was the reason why they killed him. Yes, you are right.
But I've also read that. Now I guess you said CISS. Now I read CIA. But one of the reasons why the CIA was founded was to guard the collateral accounts, which is a slush fund of different royal monies, ancient treasures, tranches, Saint Germain gold, that was meant to be used to help humanity, and in the event that we could return back to the golden age. And so what happened instead, the CIA and these different groups, I guess you said CISS, and that makes a lot of sense if that's the same.
No. Sorry. You are not right, my friend. It's much. It's very big difference, okay? Because CISS, it's once again Central of Intelligence and Secret Services, and all of these services, it's under it. It's like CIA, NSA, FBI, DIA, and I don't know, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? ATF and all kind of these organization.
Yeah, well,
and do you know what I'm
well, I
trying
mean,
to say?
we're just.
All of them. No. Once again, if they have something, how can I say that? Some sort of, how can I call it, boss? Okay, no. The real boss here is CISS for all of them. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, nothing less, nothing more.
Yeah, well, I'm not disputing that, Peter.
Just for make it clear.
Yeah.
Just for make it clear.
Okay. Well, and that was actually, this was one of the questions, but I mean, it really needs to have its own show its own about the Nasara funds, the RV, Saint Germain accounts. I think we might have to just say that for another time, unless there's something quickly you could just briefly comment about that. Like for instance, will it happen anytime soon?
I think we can talk about it the next time.
I agree. So we're gonna say that for next time. And audience members, I encourage you to ask any questions you want to about the Nasara funds, RV, etc., Saint Germain accounts.
But what do you mean by exactly? What exactly do you mean by Nasara prosperity and RV?
The National Economic Security and Reformation Act, which was passed by Congress in 1992, I think it was. No, wait, it was 1998. Wait, 2000. Oh, it was 2000. The Farm Claims Programs was in 1983. It does away with the Federal Reserve income tax, returns us back to constitutional law. It also releases prosperity for all Americans, and it would also help raise the prosperity around the whole world, because if the United States got rid of income tax,
I don't know. But technically I don't know. I mean, because problem is, I know what it is about, but I don't know how can I contribute with my knowledge to this topic, because it's out of my range. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Okay. Well, Peter, let's talk about that off camera. Maybe we can find somebody else that, or through your contacts, we can go from there. But we got a lot of other things.
Okay.
Let's go back to the tunnels again, because you still haven't answered the question. You answered half the question. The other half is, who took the videos that was uploaded on YouTube? Was it just random people crawled in those bases?
Yeah. Once again,
Well,
locals.
but here's the thing.
I mean, residents.
Those tunnels are miles underground. How are they going to get down that deep, if I'm not mistaken? Could you comment on that?
No. You are not right. They are something like maintenance and on ground doors, entrances. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And these people don't open these doors. No. They just make random pictures, for example, like selfies and all kind of the stuff, and they don't caught it on cameras or took the photos on purpose. No, it was accidental. But these also called authorities, because for me they are not authorities. They take it in a very bad way, and they did what they did.
That's so essentially they destroyed the economy of Houston probably for a decade. And how many deaths occurred from that? Do you know?
But for them,
70.
it's
They
don't care.
killed 70 people.
But they don't care, man. They don't care. They killed more than 3,000 people on September 11th, and they don't care.
Yeah.
What's the problem? I mean, for me, of course, it's a problem. For them, no problem.
All right. So let's. Okay. Thank you, Peter. That answered that question. Now let's go to the next one here. You mentioned. Let's go back to the storm itself, because you said they were going to dump some kind of biotechnological something chemical substance in the hurricane itself.
Chemical stuff. Yeah, you are right.
Do you know the specific name of this chemical?
It will be.
Biochemical.
It will be. It will be like what? It will be like. I'm thinking. Like a dust, but very. How can I say that? What?
Like what goes in chemtrails? Smart
Very,
dust?
very.
Nano dust?
Yeah, but it will smart dust. But problem is, it will be very small, extremely small. Like, I got it. Like anthrax. Once you spread anthrax, you can't get it back, and this will be something very similar to that. Do you know what I mean?
All right, I hear you. And so, do you know the exact name of this chemical? I can't even call it a chemical.
No, it's not. Once again, it's not chemical from at first, and at the second, it's not one specific thing. It's
like a cocktail.
What this? It is
Cocktail.
a cocktail of few substances mixed together, and this is at least from my point of view, this is the main part of the problem. That if you will stand against one thing, I know what should I do. Do you know what I mean? But once there is cocktail of, I don't know, at least 5, 6 or even more things, you are pretty much screwed. This is what I'm talking
Peter,
about.
what would you tell the director of DARPA if they were to watch this, or someone in DARPA, about this particular problem? What could they do? I mean, do you think they would even want to help us, or are they on our side?
Technically, from my point of view, DARPA don't wanna to do this kind of stuff because these groups, respectively, we are calling them groups, but they are companies, private companies. They are giving, as you mentioned before, they are giving them only a very tiny piece of iceberg, right? And believe me that they are very pissed off. I mean, DARPA, they are very pissed off at that. And I'm hella sure that even without watching this, they are mad at them, at Monarch and Umbrella and all kind of this these corporations, and they have very badass small talk, if you want to call it that way. Because it's not the way, it's definitely not the way how they want to do that. I mean DARPA,
Well,
definitely
Peter.
not.
Well, going back to my question, what would you tell DARPA? What could they do to help stop this? Do they even have anything they could do in their arsenal?
Yes, they have this, they call it uh, uh, they call it VC planes. It's like vacuum cleaner planes. It's like it's they are very big. They are like C5, Lockheed C5 or something like that, or C17. Do you know? And they've got such a big open mouth in front and of it, and under the chassis. Do you know what I mean? And it makes some really good, literally vacuum cleaning. And there are tremendous pressures and all kind of stuff, but I don't know if they wanna, how can I say that, if they wanna do it publicly, because once such a huge thing as C5 or C17 will show up over the city, the people will get hella fast that aha, something is wrong. And of course, not regular one, but with this specific kind of modifications. And I saw these airplanes, and it looks really weird, believe me.
Well, the other issue is that this hurricane has 345-mile wide tropical storm swath. So that's they'll probably need a couple of these.
Which one?
Irma.
Which one? Which one?
Hurricane Irma.
Only 350. Only 300, more than 300, because I thought that it was more than 400.
345-mile wide tropical storm winds.
Okay, because I thought that it's 100 miles wider. To be honest,
the hurricane itself is 400 miles wide, but it's not tropical storms.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, okay, winds.
Okay.
All right. So the next question will be, is how would this cocktail of chemicals affect people that are still within the eye of the storm, or in the area where it's going to hit?
No. You are asking very bad question, right?
Why?
Because technically it will affect them for decades, maybe for hundreds of years. This is the main part of the problem, my friend. And it's first thing, and second one, nobody knows the real effects. Nobody knows.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Hurricane Andrew, because you've said back in 1992 when it hit Florida. Well, actually, I was telling you this, that there were rumors that there were so many dead bodies because of a similar dump of these cocktail of drugs was dumped into that hurricane, that FEMA had to build crematoriums to burn off these bodies to hide the death count. Can you confirm if that was actually true?
Technically, how can I say that? Yes and no, because yes, they created they created specific facilities, but they were not crematoriums. They were how can I say that? Scientific research labs for pathologists and another kind of doctors, I mean medical doctors, of course, very carefully chosen, of course, right? They were cooperating with army and all kind of the stuff in order to examine effects to human body, of course, after death. Do you know what I mean? But officially, yes, official version, you are right. They were crematoriums, and many bodies, I mean many people, dead people were burnt in them. But yes, official.
Do you have any idea what the actual death count was from Hurricane Andrew?
We are talking about hundreds, thousands, few hundreds of thousands.
Back in 1992, a couple 100,000 people died.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, how could so many people die?
But they don't want to talk about it.
How could so many people die and it's not really being? I mean, you would think it went the fish. Let me look that up. How many people died in Hurricane Andrew? Because I don't think it's that high. I mean, I was just wondering what the official death count was. So you.
Yeah, 26. But once again, my friend,
it says 26. According to Google, 26 people died.
Yeah, but this is, my friend, this is the problem. I don't want to say it is like that, but maybe they were like, we need to erase the last 3 zeros. So maybe it can be 200. No,
that's awful.
You are laughing
that
at
is
it.
Awful.
I mean, you are not laughing, but that's the problem, my friend. They are, once again, I am talking about few hundreds thousands. You do know what I mean? These are like these people. It's the same as people. Help me. These. I don't know how to call them, these neo-Nazis and blah blah blah. We definitely should make another show about them. They are.
Yeah, that is on my list. What an update about
spreading.
The Nazis.
They are spreading. They are spreading all over the Europe, and you know that it's extremely complicated to say exact count of deaths of Holocaust. You know, but it's like from 6 to 9 millions, right? And do you know? Let you guess what they are talking about. That it's not true. It's not from 6 to 9 millions. No. It's from 6 to 900.
Okay.
Thousand of people. From 600 to 900,000 people. So it's absolutely crazy.
So
you know?
I mean, I read according to the book Other Losses by his last name is Bosk. I forgot his first name, but he according to his research, the official statistics from the Red Cross show that there was only 3 million Jews living in all of Europe before World War II. So I don't see how there could be 6 million Jews died in the crematoriums, or 4 million.
No. Once again, no. I don't want to say Hebrew people. I am talking about all the victims. Okay. Not Hebrew people, all the victims. But problem is, if we wanna call it, talk about it from every single side, that they are not majority. I mean Hebrew people. Majority, I mean like more than 50%, no. But if you take it from percentage, do you know what I mean? They have largest number. I don't know, like 35, 40% or something like that. But the percentage is only decreasing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And these people in Europe, they are very, do you know, because it's complicated, the politics situation in Europe is very complicated, and they are gaining their popularity again.
Well,
It's
Peter,
very
let's
bad,
back
you
up a
know.
little bit because I know we're jumping around here. I want to talk a little bit more about this specific issue. Now, you're suggesting that only 900,000, up 6 to 900,000 people died in the concentration camps in World War II, and of that, 30 to 40% were Jews. Is that what you're claiming? Basically, what you just said.
No, 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 no. I am telling you that these people who claim to be neo-Nazis are telling this. And I am telling what they are telling. Do
Oh,
you know what
okay.
I'm trying to
I
say?
gotcha. So from the east.
So this is it. So
Mhm.
sorry. Once again, okay. This is some sort of parallel, you know, that these people are talking about like how can I say that, like they deleted one digit, 10, like not from 6 to 9 millions, but from 600 to 900 thousands of people. But these people in US, they deleted at least three zeros,
Right.
three
Okay.
digits. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
So the official word on
So this is the
the
parallel. This is the parallel. This is the
the official
parallel.
word from the ACIO is that the Holocaust indeed happened, and there were 6 to 9 million Jews that were killed.
Definitely. No, no, no. Once again, not Hebrew people. No, don't call them Jews. Hebrew people was about like more than 3 millions. But once again, it's the majority because there were many other ethnic groups, nationalities, and they also took
Slavics,
twins. Do you know what I mean? Twins.
Slavics, the Slavic people,
Yeah, of course. And POW,
prisoners of war.
help me, prisoners of war, prisoners
Mm,
of war. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely,
Uh,
definitely. Just by the way, there are more than 3 millions of Hebrew people, and like 2.5, 2.6 prisoners of war from former Soviet Union. So they are second one after Hebrew people. You know, this is it. So we claimed 6 to 9 millions. You know, we are talking about 8 or 9 in ACIO, and these neo Nazis are talking about from 600 to 800 thousands. So it's
well,
crazy.
is
It's
that what happened in
not.
the other parallel universe where the Nazis won World War II, where they didn't kill as many Jews and people?
They technically, the situation was different, very different, because they don't have no single one extermination camp. So situation was very different. Because, for example, they how can I say that, they comprehend, they get very fast. That, for example, they were like open heads, as Hebrew people like to say, and they used their how can I say that, their knowledge, their wisdom. Do you know what I mean? They were smart, much more, way much more smarter than in this reality, and that helped them to win the world, to win the
It might as
war.
well be the
Sorry,
world, right?
this is it.
Right. So,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
thank you, Peter. I think you answered that question. If the audience members would like to any clarification, feel free to put a question out. But oh,
Yeah, so I got it because I opened our statistics, and it's we are talking about 512,000 people died during Hurricane
What?
Andrew. This is real
Five
fact.
hundred and
This is
twelve
real
thousand
fact.
people died in Hurricane Andrew. But
Yeah.
how in the world could they say 26 people died? I mean, surely people would have had families. They would have known that my family just.
No, 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 no. Once again, they were people. How can I say that? People who will not be missed by
And
anyone. For
homeless.
example, give me a second. Homeless people, very poor people, they almost get homeless. How can I say that? Like, especially, to be honest, this was extremely cruel. Uh, Children from like 5, 6 to I don't know, like teenagers, 13, 15. They do you know these street children? Do you know
Orphanages.
what I mean? They
Orphanages.
what?
Oh, I guess you said street children. Yeah, the underclass.
Street children. I mean, yeah, yeah, but I mean like children. They lose their parents and all kind of stuff, and old people. They went. I mean like okay, they are in the facility for old people. Why should we why we shouldn't remove them and make space for another ones? Do
Right.
you know what I mean? So this is extremely cruel, because I opened these files specifically for you once during our talk, and
Yeah.
it's extremely cruel. I can see these images. To be honest, they are not publishable. They are definitely
Well,
not publishable. It's
I
such a
know,
crazy
like the state
thing.
of Florida has required a mandatory evacuation, but I was just curious. What if you were homeless and you didn't have a vehicle and you didn't have any money to get a bus ticket out of there? What would you do? Would you go to a shelter or go to a FEMA camp?
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, ACIO are offering shelters. It's like do it's beside along old nuclear shelters.
Okay.
So you can stay safe. You can stay safe.
Yeah, Miami. As Irma looms, Miami's homeless are urged to go into shelters. So hopefully um, hopefully that won't be FEMA shelters. But I hate when this happens.
What?
Okay, so let's move on here. Next question is how many people you think could possibly die? I mean, this hurricane is twice as big. Do you foresee 1 million people dying in Florida? 1 million undesirables?
From my point of view, they will be not residents, but once again, this kind of people, as I said, they will, or maybe they at least should miss someone. But as I said, street children, old people, or homeless people, all kind of this stuff, and I mean, army, militia, and FEMA, they will move this kind of people into this right in the middle of this smash. It will be
Yeah.
crazy.
So okay, my last question is, and we can move on from this hurricane. Is if you were to stay down in Florida, say maybe you have a house in Orlando, you're still in the direct path, and you wanted to weather out the storm, would it be would you be safe if you were just to stay inside and not expose yourself to the air? Well,
Definitely not. Definitely not. You need to go to the
go to
basement.
where? What'd you say? Basement.
To basement. Basement. If you have one,
Most
of
homes in
course.
Florida do not have basements because the sandy soil and the okay, okay.
I know
I just
that. I know that. So this was just a provocation, because I know that like 80 or maybe 90% of houses in Florida don't have base model. Am I right?
That seems correct to me. I don't know the official statistics, but I'm going to agree with you on that one. All right. So, is there anything else you want to comment about this particular issue with this cocktail?
I think that we are okay.
So let's move on to the next
Uh-huh.
one. This helicarrier is what I'm calling it in Jacksonville. Is that where it was? You mentioned a helicarrier in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but not one, my friend. They are like more than 60 of them.
Who owns these helicarriers?
That's a question, but at least from from ACIO's point of view, DOD, but technically DOD, how can I say that? They don't create it on the plans. They don't make these plans on computers. They don't build them. So it will be very complicated, if you wanna ask me like that, because of course it is like, it has I don't want to say American markings on it, because they are, all of them are very part of very secret project, but from my point of view it's DARPA stuff. But who created them? From my point of view, it's Ultimate. But I don't know why they ordered, DOD, via DARPA, why they ordered so many of them, because 60 is a really big number. It's a really big number.
Okay, Peter. Now let's back up here. Why don't you explain to the audience members what I'm calling them helicarriers. Now, what are these things actually called, and can you describe what they look like?
Yeah, so that's the problem. I can't describe them at all technically, because once they go underground, they look, I don't want to say similar, but I don't want to say same, but very similar to regular regular submarine, but much bigger, right? At first. Then once they are on the surface, sea surface, they looked once again not exact, but very similar to heavy battleships, right? But the cruisers, or I don't know, like the cruisers, or what do you know what I mean? This one's the first one is they are cruisers, and the second one are what?
Carriers?
Yeah, carriers, cruisers, and airplane carrier. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So they are many types of, and they are, of course, they are interchangeable, so they can, how can I say that, they can easily change their purpose. Do you know what I mean? And once they wanna fly, you call it very good. They looked like very big drone, like a huge drone with 4 engines. It's so I mean, for me, at least for me, it's funny, because like you want to pilot with remote control big drone, and it's like, holy crap, that's not my drone.
Now these crafts were featured in the Avengers movie. It was allegedly one was owned by Shield. Can you describe the size? Do you have the dimensions of this craft when it's actually in the air?
I don't want to say exact dimensions, but it was like what we are talking about like
Is it bigger than a traditional aircraft carrier?
water. We are talking about what like half mile and a half mile I mean in the long in the length, and we are talking about what like uh, 1/8 of the mile. So we are talking about like 200 meters in the wideness. Do you know what I mean? So it's big ass ship, very big.
Yeah, so
But once again, that's a problem to talk about the dimensions, because once again they've got modules, and these modules are interchangeable, and they can they can align these dimensions via needs, actual needs. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, when they need to make some, how can I say that, reparations, or not only on a main ship, but on, I don't know. It can carry cargoes. I mean, cargo planes, because it's really big, inside, or I don't know, like jet fighters and all kind of stuff. So okay, not a problem. They will spread their wings, if you wanna call it that way, very wide open, and it will fly extremely slow. But once they need fly fast, it can go, I don't know, like up to 200 meters long, or and then 50 meters wide. So I don't want to say it's small, but it's really small, according the previous extremely enormous. Do you know what I mean?
well, a
Dimensions. So
traditional
this is it.
aircraft carrier, at least in the United States, the larger ones are 1,100 feet. So you're suggesting that this is actually double that size than what's known to the public. You said about
11 once again 1100 feet.
is the U.S. Ford Nimitz class aircraft carrier.
Yep, exactly. I am talking about, as you can talk about it,
So you're
it like
suggesting
that
that
way.
it's way
Yeah,
bigger than that.
double size. Yes, we can talk about
Okay.
double size, something like that. But once again, only when all modules are opened,
Now, now, Peter,
wide
people are going to
opened.
ask, they're going to ask this question, at least for those who really don't understand. How in the world are they going to get an aircraft carrier that heavy to fly in the sky without it crashing down into the ocean?
Because they've got this special kind of engines. They have VTOL, what is like, as you call it, like vertical takeoff landing, right? And this is it. They've got these four huge engines for taking it like in a vertical stability, and for horizontal stability they've got another 8 ones, and they are coordinating them together.
And how do they keep it secret from the public? I mean, something that huge in the sky would certainly cast a big shadow from the sun. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Once again, my friend, it's like how can I say that? This is the reason, because technically, the stuff is that this is the reason why they what why they did this. So I mean this whole Irma thinky thing, because they need to keep it secret, okay? Because once there is a ongoing maintenance, they can stay perfectly fine, everything okay. I mean, uh, like invisible. But once they are doing maintenance to invisibility system, they need to turn it off. And once the invisibility system is turned off, guess what? Everybody can see it. And just by the way, people may ask, of course, it's logical, or maybe it will be logical question, how the hell they can see what they are doing on what they are working on. I mean, the workers, right? Very easy answer. They are using special kind of glasses. With this kind of glasses, you have such a small switch on the glasses, right? For other people without these glasses, you can't see nothing, right? But once you have this type of glasses on, you switch this switch on to the on, and you can see everything what you need.
Okay, Peter. Now, you said that someone took some photos of this craft while I guess it was in partially decloaking phase. Um, Now, my question to you is, if these crafts have been around, I'm assuming have been around for decades, why is this an issue? Why,
Yes, you are. Yes,
well,
you are
why is
right.
there, why
Yes,
are they
you are
making an
right.
issue about someone taking a photo now? If somebody, I mean, is this the first time someone has been able to take a photo?
Yeah, you are right.
Okay, and it
It never happened. It never happened in
in the
the future.
past, in our past, you mean?
Sorry, it never happened in the past, and they don't. One, two, three. They don't. They want to prevent to happen it in the future. That was my thought, but I twisted
So
it. Sorry, my bad.
why did it happen now? Because if they've always had this problem with the drive, why does it suddenly the photos being taken? Are the drive starting to malfunction? Is there a critical design error or flaw?
Uh, that's a problem because how can I say that? I don't want to say all, but most of them are in Jacksonville right now, right? And it's practically, how can I say that, impossible to make it synchronize. I mean, repairing or maintenance, at least if not repairing, but repairs, but maintenance of invisibility systems, and then suddenly here and there, such very weird shape stuff on the surface appeared like that out of nowhere, and people, you know the story. People are curious. They made video footages. They made pictures, and here we are. There it goes.
Could you send me some of these pictures for me to put in the video?
I don't have ones, and I think that's a bad idea to even to try to
Well,
think
I
about
can't.
that. It's bad idea because this video will be
I can't find
deleted
any
after
traces
that.
of it on the internet.
Once again, because they did the job was done very good.
All right. So same issue with the Houston tunnels. Um, well,
Yeah, exactly. You are right.
so what does this have to do with the hurricane? You said there was a connection between this incident and the hurricane, Irma.
Once again, they need to all people to clear
Well, why
out.
don't they just move the helicarriers out of the Jacksonville area? They move them out into the ocean where.
Believe it or not, but this for them this is easier solution. I know that sounds crazy. I believe all the people that are like, he's full. No, for them it's way much easier, because finally it's like I can get this for you. There are 60 in total. 60 of them were completed, and another 120 are were ordered, and they are in process of completion. And the fact is that 50 in total are right now in Jacksonville. Right now.
Why are they all
And
clustered
another
there? I'm
10
sorry.
will.
Please answer that, and then you can go on. Why do they have them all clustered in that area? And I'm assuming they're in the sky.
Because that's a problem. Yes, they are on the sky, but that's a problem because they wanna test. They wanna make some updates. I mean, technical updates, and these technical updates can be done only once they are on the. How can I say that? First step of it, or first few steps at least, were done before hurricane hit Miami coast, right? And second half of it, if you wanna call it that way, needs to be done in the sky, right? There is no another option that how to do that, only in the sky. And it's so this is the first purpose, like they need to get the job done. And second purpose, it's test if I mean the carriers, if they are good. I mean, like if they can hold still, hold tight in such a crazy ass wind.
Okay, so they don't. I mean, why don't they just move the helicarriers to where the hurricane is in the ocean? Why does it have to be in Jacksonville at the same time with a hurricane?
No, once again, because uh, there are these carriers, airplanes, of course. They go these they lift these what, like parts, technical parts. They no, they don't lift. They lift it because they stopped to do that. Like 3 or 4 days. We've got what, we've got ninth. Am I right? So they stopped September 9th. Am I right
Well, today I think is
or
the
not?
9th.
Yeah, September 9th. Yeah. So they stopped 4 days
Stopped
ago.
what?
And
What did they stop?
they stopped lifting this piece of technique. And now this piece of technique needs to be installed, and they can do it only in the air, because this kind of stuff um, needs to be installed once the carriers are
So
only in the air.
they're gonna do it during the
Because
hurricane.
this is it. This is what I'm talking about. Because it will be test once these helicarriers, if you are giving it good name, will hold still, hold tight during such a crazy ass wind. This is it. What I'm trying to tell you all the time.
Yeah. I certainly wouldn't want to be on the deck of those craft during the hurricane, but I suppose they could put some homeless people up there, scoop them out of Jacksonville, test them that way. Well, I'm not saying. Okay, maybe I shouldn't make any ideas here because I don't want to, in a way, to take that the wrong way. Okay, so, what are your thoughts about that? What they're doing? Do you think that's fair? I mean, I thought Ultimate was one of the more positive groups.
From my point of view, they are good. They are positive, but the problem is, how can I say that? Perspective. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I
don't
mean?
think the hurricane.
Perspective. where you which perspective you will see it see for
Mm.
it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Can
like that.
we need to wrap this up really quickly. So I just want to ask one more question about the Jackson facility, which is we were talking about this base that's 150 miles due east of Jacksonville, Florida, at the bottom of the ocean. What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now?
Everything we are talking about was created there. I mean, these helicarriers, they were created there. This is it.
And my lab files shows that I was taken to the Jackson facility when I was, I believe, 6 or 8, and put in the trip seats and so on. So is that a Nazi facility? This ultimate group?
No,
Why
no,
would they be abducting American children and taking them to that facility?
because they are not. How can I say that? Random children. They are children with a specific kind of DNA, very specific DNA profile.
Okay. And is there anything else you would like to mention about that facility?
I think that about this kind of facility, because they are few of them all around the world, we should make another whole interview. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
sure. Okay. Uh, all right. Well, my last question to you is: do you think Ultimate or will be successful on cloaking all these helicarriers in the future? You think they'll solve the issue?
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
I almost kind of
But there are many questions. So why we are not talking about
about
them?
who?
These questions, they are like, I don't know, six,
Oh,
seven, another
yeah. I'm running
questions.
out of time. I'm gonna have to leave soon. One more. San Andreas Fault. You said that the next attack will be on San Andreas Fault. Can you comment about that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And elaborate some?
Yeah, yeah. And it will be soon. It will
Well,
be
San
very
Andreas
soon.
Fault is at least 1,000 miles long. Where do you think the epicenter might be?
Practically all over the fall.
And what do you think is going to trigger? I suppose that this earthquake is what you're describing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a problem. I don't know what you will trigger. What it will trigger. Sorry. Uh, Only thing I know for sure, it will be very crazy. I mean, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it will be mass destruction in a total different way as Hurricane Ace or will be, you know. But from my point of view, even worse
Uh,
destruction and in larger
do you
scale, of
have an idea
course.
what the earthquake rating will be? The size of the earthquake?
Size, I don't know the size, but I know they are planning to do like from 8 to 9
On the Richter
on
scale. Yeah,
the
the Richter
scale.
scale.
Do you know what I mean?
So is
Yeah, 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 yeah. On
now
Richter scale. Yeah,
if you
yeah.
look at some maps of California from satellite images, it appears that there's like a giant that California is actually on a giant shelf and that underneath it is hollow. Is that true? Can you confirm that it's actually a giant shelf into the ocean?
Yeah, that's true.
So are
That's
they going to
true.
try
That's
to
true.
detonate anything that will cause some of that to collapse underneath into the
Yeah, you are right. And technically, the whole U.S. Midwest will be there will be one huge flood, and everything will be
wait.
underwater.
We were talking about
Underwater.
California. How did you get to the Midwest? What are you?
Uh, because if you look at that, from Cali to Midwest. I mean, like I'm talking about what, like New Mexico,
To the
Arizona,
Grand Canyon,
Colorado, all kind
all the
of
way to the
this.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah, this is
That's
it
going
what
to be
I'm talking
oceanfront
about.
property.
Because it what
That will be oceanfront property near the Grand Canyon.
this is it what I'm talking about. Because technically, you will. How can I say that? The small thing will start chain reaction, and everything will fall apart, and it will be floated by ocean. So this is the thing that I think, from at least from my point of view, they are very deeply thinking if they are doing, if they will do that or not in Kelly, because once they did it on Kelly, bad idea. Technically, they will start the problems with the fall, and I mean San Andreas Fault, and it will cause the earthquake, and the earthquake will cause the problems you told about that, like under it, it's hollow, and it's not good idea to mess around with that. So from my point of view, um, yes, it's a good chance that they will at least try to do something in California, but even they are twist-minded, right? Realized that it will cause way much bigger damage than they want to do. So this is only one chance people in West Coast and Midwest have, you know.
Let me ask you this question. The United States Geological Survey is a scientific agency within the United States government that monitors the tectonic plates and earthquake activity. Is the USGS aware that California is on a giant plate that's sticking out into the ocean? Do you think they know
Definitely, yes,
that?
they are. I don't
Because
think so. I'm sure.
yeah, because I was never taught anything about this in school textbooks. Of course, I mean I went to the government brainwashing schools, but public school. But yeah, so um, okay, well, hopefully, maybe the benevolent ETs will stop that craziness, because we hate to see California, at least
Yeah,
parts of it, go into the ocean. Um, and when do you think that might happen?
I don't know. Next 6, 8 months, maybe 9 months.
Now, somebody has contacted me, and they claim that they have contact with the Palladians, and the Palladians told him that the Draco want to cause mass flooding on this planet, similar to what happened with with Noah and the time of Atlantis. And they want to. They're talking. The ETs are talking about evacuating light workers. Do you have any confirmation that that might be true?
Yeah, it's not like some information. It's true. Definitely, it's true. Yeah, it
Do
is.
you think these two events are correlated? These two pieces of information? Is that what they're referring to?
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, because what I was
Yeah, yeah.
what was
This
relayed
is
to
it.
me, it was almost as if the whole planet was going to flood, but it's not going to be the whole planet. Well, it would be, I guess, if there's a giant tsunami, because that would cause that would probably cause what, a five
Yes,
hundred
it
foot
was. It
wave.
was like in the Indonesia, then in Japan, and then this like that.
Yeah, because I know
That's it.
Edgar Casey, he predicted it as well. So are you suggesting that this is not a natural event? This is man-made. This is not like something God is going to punish the world with.
Definitely,
This is just Draco or
definitely yes, definitely yes. It's definitely it's not a man-made, but let's call it intelligent entities made, because it's not man-made. But yes, you are right. Yes.
yeah. Okay, that's actually a good point. All right. Is there anything else you would like to mention about this earthquake?
Nope. We are okay.
Okay,
We are good for now.
All right, so listeners, thank you for listening in. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We will attempt to get back to you on that. And I know, Peter, are you still encouraging people to drink the mint tea?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay, so again, the mint tea has
Definitely,
raw honey, cinnamon, and lemon.
It's very good.
It help take you away, I guess, deprogram you from the AI, or wait, no, it actually helps with the positive beings. Well, help make your life better. They'll find you. I guess that's how you describe it. Okay.
Yeah,
and also,
that's true. So can you repeat it? Can you repeat it? The recipe?
Raw honey, cinnamon, lemon, and mint. And it could be, I guess, fresh mint or mint and dried mint. And of course, you would brew all that. But generally you brew the mint first. Ideally, you don't really want to boil the mint because it destroys the flavor. So you want to boil the water first and then let it seep, and then you can add the other. Don't boil the raw honey because it'll destroy that. Well, so let it cool down before you add it into. Okay, so other thing is I want to mention, people, please visit Super Soldier Talk, and also please visit neologicaltech.com to support the work that I do, and also visit Peter's website at peter-insider.com. Is that correct, Peter? Is that website is that still active? I haven't checked in a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you put more content on there?
Yeah, it's still active, still working.
And that website is in your native language of Czech. Is that the language you speak?
Slovak.
Okay, it shows you how much I know.
Yep.
Slovak. Is there a Czech language? Is it called Slovak?
No, it's like mixed in Slovak and Czech language. Yeah.
So there is a Czech language.
So, yeah, it is.
Oh. Okay, well, I learned something new here, and so did the listeners. So, thank you, Peter. Of course, your native tongue is Slovak, even though you are Czech, or from there.
No, I'm Slovak, and my native language is Slovak.
Okay.
I'm from mystical. There is some mystical stuff going all around my place of birth, just for official record.
All right. Okay. Well, I need to go now. So thank you, listeners, and thank you, Peter. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.